Welcome to another episode of Bar Banter. Blake Achterhof is with us, and he's from Lagunitas Brewing. And Lagunitas has been a staple of the bar and everywhere in Chicago. They started in Petaluma, California. Now they're here in Chicago with a huge brewery. And Blake, thanks for joining us, dude.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about Lagunitas, how things are going.
Lagunitas is great. The tap room's open on the south side of Chicago, right next to Douglas Park. Today, I brought you some samples of our Pilsner, and then they're cold. That should be number one on your list as a beer sales rep. Do not hand out warm samples.
Pour it up for us, bro.
For sure.
And let's get to some stories. This does look nice.
Yeah, it's all about the clarity,
This is your Pils?
Beer-flavored beer that we're drinking right now, Pilsner.
Okay.
Yeah, just clean, refreshing.
Smells good. Nice.
Glad we have this back. This was before pandemic. We had this around, but
that's really good.
Came back, yeah. Great.
It's crisp. Yeah. It's clean. It's
what other adjectives like creamy, smooth,
not creamy.
No. Oh,
maybe smooth.
All right, smooth. I like smooth.
Yeah, but don't talk to Patrick. He hates.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean, refreshing. Pilsner.
No, it's good.
Fantastic.
It's really good.
On tap at down on the south side by Douglas Park.
Let's talk about the tap room at Lagunitas, because
it's an experience.
It's a great experience. I mean, you walk in, it's like Willy Wonka. They're playing the song that Gene Wilder sang, like
Pure Imagination.
Yes, Pure Imagination. It's really trippy, and
black lights.
Basically, you kind of need to be stoned if you walk through there.
If you've never been stoned, it's definitely the feeling of being
stoned.
Yes.
Right? Exactly. But we give credit to Tony McGee, who started this whole company, and he just did an amazing job with it. And and then they went to a bigger company and they're like, oh, it sounds good. Why not make some money? That's not a sellout. That's just the deal. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. 100%.
That's it. 100%. Okay. So as a rep for Lagunitas, we're going to get some bar stories in a little bit, but as a rep for Lagunitas, as the guy who represents them, I mean, we love when you come in, dude. You're great. And it's I love your company from Petaluma to Chicago to here. It's great.
The greatest thing I can do as a rep is buy beers for your regulars. Steve sits at the bar.
Steven.
Every time I come in.
The greatest thing about you when you come in, I'm sorry to interrupt you, is when you come in, you drink a couple Lagunitas, you'll have some lunch, whatever, and then you buy beer for people, and they really appreciate it. And guess what? They come back and they order Lagunitas.
100%.
That's what they do. That's exactly what they do.
That's my job down to
or even if someone's a regular Lagunitas drinker, like Steven, a regular, he appreciates it so much.
Right. I mean, he's buying so many pints before he even knew I existed.
Yeah. No, it's
the fact that I can come in and buy him a pint or two is absolutely perfect. That's exactly what I want to do.
It's a great thing.
Beer Santa. So,
one thing I'll say about Lagunitas, Tony, he started in a shed with a pot and a pan, and that's it.
The wild story about it is that he was dumping live yeast down the drain.
Yeah.
It backed up the sewers in Lagunitas, California.
Yeah.
They kicked him out of Lagunitas. He started the brewery in Petaluma because
I did not know that.
Homebrew and other sewage matters.
All right. So
the next beer we have is tap room exclusive, only on tap at the Chicago Tap Room. So we have Beast of Both Worlds. This is
this is the East meets West IPA.
Yes.
Right?
So Northeast IPA, very low bitterness.
Okay.
Very hazy. West Coast IPA, a little bit of bitterness, but this is kind of blending both of the two different styles.
All right.
Low bitterness, a little bit of clarity. 8%.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. This one's going to be available in stores in Chicagoland in January.
You know what it is? I'm going to say it. It's creamy.
Oh.
It is.
Is it smooth?
Yeah, it's smooth and creamy.
I took the Cicerone, which is the sommelier version of beer nerdiness. They said, whatever you describe, how you're going to remember that beer is the way you should describe it. So
it's creamy.
Remember it as creamy. All good.
Oh, yeah. Blake, you've been in the industry. You're a rep for Lagunitas.
Yes.
You've bartended for weddings. You've served at different places. Let's talk about let's go.
Weddings. My kids were young. I was working at a warehouse during the day. We had to find extra income because just wasn't paying the bills. So me and my wife both worked at weddings in the evenings, and especially on the weekends.
Where were these weddings, Blake?
In Lamont,
Oh.
Lamont, Illinois.
Okay.
They had appetizers in the house, in the mansion. They had the receptions in a tent that was attached to the house. Anyways, so this one wedding, I was working the head table. The groom's mother hands me this bottle of wine that she has been saving from the day that he was born. So this bottle has been in the family since 1982, the year I was born. But yeah, also, they've been saving this bottle of wine. They want to pour it at his wedding. She hands me the bottle. Very important thing for this family.
It's ceremonial.
Yes.
It's huge, right?
So I have all this pressure on me. They hand me this bottle of wine. I touch the bottle opener to the cork. The cork totally disintegrates, falls into the bottle. Just cork material all inside the bottle, floaties everywhere. So I fucked up. I asked my manager, what am I supposed to do? This is some bottle of wine that they've been saving for 30 years. So he's like, wrap a black napkin around it, pour the wine. It's going to taste like vinegar. It's disgusting. Don't worry about it. It absolutely was disgusting. They took one sip, realized it was terrible, and we moved on. Wasn't a huge issue, but in the moment, I had that deer in the headlights look. What did I just do?
Let's talk about people that you've seen at the bar as you're sitting there, or people who, let's talk about those. Like, I think you have a story to tell.
Okay.
And I think it involves me.
Teddy's first day. Yeah. Teddy likes to call these people douchebags. I prefer the term jagoffs.
Yes.
Yeah. Colin on the south side, he's a south side rep for Lagunitas. He loves the term jagoff. It's kind of worn off on me. Good. It is very Chicago. The term jagoff is Chicago. Like nobody else calls anybody else.
You're a fucking jagoff.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's it. Right?
Nobody else says jagoff. Like people from Boston aren't saying jagoff.
Right. No.
Whatever. It's us.
Go on.
We own the term. So this jagoff comes in and asks for a margarita. Teddy makes them a margarita.
I've never had a drink sent back in 2 years I've been here.
Yeah.
Ever.
Right. I haven't seen one. I've seen one. Well, I've seen one.
Well, yeah. So tell us.
So this person sends back the drink saying, I ordered a margarita, not a lemonade or whatever the hell they think it was. Right. They thought it was some NA, like a non-alcoholic margarita. It wasn't. It was a margarita. It just wasn't as strong as they make it at home.
Yeah.
It's not our fault that you pour 3 ounces of...
It's a proper margarita,
dude. Right. You're not doubling up the tequila.
Right. No,
if you ask for less ice, you're not getting extra tequila. You're getting...
And I pour it... Right. Sorry, Peter. But I pour it like I drink it, so he knows. Like, I mean, I don't pour it weak.
Right.
Right? At all.
This woman sent it back saying it was not strong enough. And you said, hey, sorry, it's my first day.
Right.
Yeah.
And she said...
I don't know what I'm doing. Let me try to remake it.
And she said what? I could tell. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, but I'm like, you drank 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
And you said it wasn't good enough, but you're almost done with it. So
it took you can just go. To figure it out. Yeah. Your review takes 3/4 of a drink to.
Like, that's it. You can just go, that's on the comp tab. Like, you're done. Like, I just don't want to deal with you. Like, I just can't deal with you.
Yeah.
100%. Like, it's just too much. Right?
It's ridiculous. I mean, you're not trying to screw a customer over. You want repeat customers. Repeat customers are your favorite customers, I assume.
I love my regulars. Yes. I do. Let's talk about more jagoffs. So this guy came in for the past couple of days, and he was with the conventioneers, and we'll talk about those in a little bit, right?
Those are special.
But so he's from the convention, and he's like a nice enough guy, but like starts drinking a Long Island iced tea at like 11:30 a.m. And you're like, oh, you're meeting clients. Oh, this is gonna go well, right?
Raging alcohol,
right? So they love the girl who's going to them and serving them, and they're just starting to become creepy, right? And so the guy, this is like my jagoff of the week, okay? He looks at her and he says, "What winks and fucks like a tiger?" And she's like, and he looks at her, he goes, "What a douchebag."
Man.
Like, seriously.
Whoa.
You, by the
Get
way,
out.
by the way, this guy's like 60 years old.
No.
And so I walked over there and I go, "You got to go. Like, that, you're done. Like,
Yes.
this is not happening whatsoever."
Yeah.
This is what happens in the bar industry. And, you know, I really do have empathy for the girls who just put up with this shit all the time. Like, they just put up with it. But that guy was such a jagoff.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Like, come on, man. He looked at me when he was leaving. This is the best part. This is the best. He looks at me, he goes, "I'm going back home to Tennessee." And he goes, "Make sure she stays in touch with me because I have a pontoon boat." I'm like, "Oh my God."
Pontoon boat.
Like, oh, what a fucking turn on that is, right?
You have a raft with a motor.
like, how can she resist that?
Yeah. Did he put his
You
pinky up
and
as
your
he said it?
big fat belly on a pontoon boat in Tennessee sounds so great. Like, seriously. Oh my
That's
God.
wild.
I got a couple more things to talk about with you. So you worked as a server
Oh man.
at a movie theater.
The weirdos that show up for a Thursday 9:00 showing of whatever movie's on at the time.
It's like Iron Man, like whatever.
Could be Iron Man, could be Medea, could be Sex and the City 2. You never know.
Oh God.
Yeah, so it's been a while, but this couple orders a round of drinks. They know I'm coming back momentarily with drinks. This guy is having dessert before I show up with.
Ew, no.
He is under the blanket.
So what did you do?
I walked out, told everyone that was working the night, "Look what's going on in here." They all walk up to the catwalk or whatever, look up where the cinema's at. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. I bring their drinks in and they watch the movie. So I don't know what else happened after that, but they only ordered drinks. I did not ask for an entree or dessert. Seems like they already had that. So
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. I guess like good for you.
this is one thing I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Are there any games that you play to pass the time of a shift? Because for me,
Yahtzee.
being a big guy, I sit next to a door. All of a sudden, people are handing me IDs. I'm not checking IDs. I don't work here.
Well, I don't sit by the
There
door,
you go.
so I can't play that game.
Yeah, that's true.
But what I have done in the past, and this,
You're pulling Super Troopers, saying how many times you can say meow.
my character is really being thrashed right now by myself. Just so you know, like, I'm just not a good person, apparently. So I was in New Orleans years ago. I was in my 20s, which was a long time ago. And
30 years ago.
so I'm in New Orleans and we have no money left. Like, it's like the last day. I'm like, rah. So there was a bar where people like walked way up the steep staircase and there was nobody there. And I just kind of stood there and just was like, took IDs and took cover.
Nice.
Like $5 a piece. Like
yeah.
$5, $5. And I finally got busted, but I had $170 in my pocket.
Sweet.
And that lasted me like the rest of the weekend. I mean,
That's the way to do it.
like college kids do that shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, thank you, man.
Anytime.
Thank you, Lagunitas. Thank you, Tony, for starting it. Thank you, my old and dear friend, Bob Leckie, who...
Oh, I remember Bob.
Oh, Bob was great.
Shout out, Bob.
Shout out to Bob, like, and just like everybody from Lagunitas. And we appreciate everything that you guys do here. And we just continue to like sell your beer. And I love you, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you so much for being
Anytime.
on. All right.
We doing this, my lord? Or are we letting it drive?
Oh, we have to. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
I don't.
This has been Bar Banter, Chicago, from the 3rd floor at 29 West Hubbard with my boy.
That guy.
That guy. Whatever.
Cheers.